Military plane crash. A Saudi King Governors Forum condole with President Buhari.
We have to defeat insecurity in Southeast and other regions of Nigeria.
Arrest and prosecute criminals killing security agents in Southeast. Igbo group tells IGP as more INEC offices are attacked in Anambra, Enugu and Imo states. Humanitarian Minister seeks speedy response to disaster.
To support the policy drive of President Muhammad Buhari in alleviating the plight of our vulnerable citizens and ultimately reduce poverty to the barest minimum.
A very good evening to you and thank you for joining us on the NTA Network News. My name is Kenan Ima Ambonikim. Also reading tonight is Adeola Komiakere in Lagos. Let's begin from the presidential villa where President Muhammadu Buhari Monday hosted Professor Faustin Achange Touadera, President of Central African Republic, telling him that his first concern for his people is their security and well-being. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
At all times, the security of the people is my first concern, my priority. President Muhammadu Buhari told visiting President Faustin Achange Touadera of the Central African Republic, explaining that it is the reason Nigeria is hosting a summit of Lake Chad Basin Commission in Abuja to discuss the situation in Chad and the implications for neighboring countries. The president said the recharge of Lake Chad with water from Congo Basin is another issue, as it holds great implications for security, since about 30 million people are affected. President Faustin Achange Touadera says he is in Nigeria on the invitation of President Muhammadu Buhari to attend the meeting of heads of state and governments of the Lake Chad Basin Commission and how to find solutions to the menace of insecurity in the region. As the Central African Republic president says, he seized the opportunity to also discuss strengthening of bilateral relations between the two countries and request Nigeria to help rebuild the Central African Republic army presently undergoing a reformation. President Faustin Achange Touadera commiserates with President Muhammadu Buhari and Nigerians over the loss of the Chief of Army Staff and 10 other officers in the aircraft accident that occurred in Kaduna last week, Friday. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NJ News.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari had described the sudden demise of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, and the other gallant officers of the nation's military as a major setback in the renewed onslaught against terrorism and other acts of criminality bedeviling the country. The president stated this while receiving members of the Nigerian Governors Forum on a condolence visit over the tragedy that befell the nation.
It happened at a time when the security situation in the country is a fundamental issue. And to lose such a choice officers just increase our problems. But we know what we are in for, we know what we have promised within the time and circumstances under which we find ourselves, and we continue to do our best.
The chairman, Nigeria Governors Forum and Governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, who led the delegation, tells the president that the governors were saddened that the officers died when the military started to feel the impact of its new leadership.
This is a major blow, but we also know that you are unrelenting in your commitment to ensuring peace and security in our country. It's unfortunate, the losses we have suffered. We pray to God Almighty that He will grant them eternal rest and give their families the fortitude to bear this unfortunate loss. And our country, yet another resolve to continue along the path that Lieutenant General Atairu and his colleague have already started toying. because for us, we must defeat banditry, we must defeat insurgency, we must defeat criminality in all of its ramifications.
The governors appreciated the president for assuring the nation that families of the departed gallant officers are adequately taken care of and protected. Now, the Saudi monarch and custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz, through a phone call commiserated with President Muhammadu Buhari and the people of Nigeria over the demise of the Chief of Army Staff and 10 other military officers. The Saudi king expressed full solidarity with Nigeria following the national tragedy and prayed for the repose of the souls of the deceased. The king prayed for peace, security and progress of the two nations. Also, President Buhari received commiseration from Archbishop Josiah Idowu Fieran, the Nigerian-born Secretary General of the Anglican Communion in London, who prayed for peace and comfort for the families and Nigerians. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed that a Federal Executive Council meeting scheduled to hold on Wednesday, 26 May 2021 be postponed to Wednesday, 2nd June 2021. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boaz Mustafa, in a statement, says the postponement of FEC is in furtherance to Mr. President's directive for the national flag to fly at half-mast nationwide from 24th to 26th May 2021, and the declaration of today, Monday, 24th May 2021, as work-free day for members of the armed forces. Similarly, the Police Council meeting scheduled for Thursday, 27th May has been postponed to Thursday, 3rd June 2021 in honor of late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, and 10 other senior military officers and servicemen. 3 days after the death of Chief of the Army Staff and 10 gallant officers, sympathizers from all walks of life have continued to offer prayers for the repose of their souls. Haruna Mohammed reports that the Islamic scholars at the 3-day prayers urged Nigerians to take solace for the fact that the officers died in the course of active national service.
It is now 3 days after the demise of the late Army Chief. Sympathizers from far and near converge on Abuja to observe the 3-day prayer for the repose of the soul of Nigeria's late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, and others who died in Friday's air mishap in Kaduna. The Director of Islamic Affairs, Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Shehu Mustafa, was joined by other clerics of the Islamic faith to offer prayers for the eternal rest of the fallen heroes and grant brave family comfort.
We gathered here to pray for him and his entourage, seeking Allah's forgiveness for him and his entourage. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them entrance into paradise. And we also pray for their families, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to be with them and guide them, protect them anywhere they may find themselves.
Only but for a moment.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, described the death of the Army Chief as a national tragedy and assures Nigerians that the military remain resolute in its mandate.
I admonished every officer and personnel of the armed forces to take courage, to rise in faith. Our spirit remains unmovable, unshakable.
So we pray that the Almighty Allah forgive them their sins, their shortcomings as human beings.
The prayer was attended by top military officers, government officials and notable personalities. From the Niger Barracks in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Network News. It's time for our first break. Do stay with us.
He's not my real father. But you already know this, Lara darling. Yes. But after 25 years, she just told me who my real father is.
Now, where's it in the car?
Introducing Glow YouTube plans. Feast your eyes from as low as 50 naira for 1 hour. Simply dial *777#.
The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies (NILS) invites stakeholders and members of the public to the unveiling of its publication titled A Political Economy of Pandemics and Consequences of COVID-19 for Nigeria, edited by the Director General of NILS, Professor Abubakar Osleiman. The compendium, which is the first authoritative volume on the pandemic in Nigeria, offers an academic and practice-oriented review of the COVID-19 pandemic while assessing its social, political, economic, and psychological consequences. Special guest of honor, Distinguished Senator Ahmed Lawan, CON, President of the Senate, and Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, Speaker, House of Representatives, venue, Transcorp Hilton Hotels, Abuja, date, Wednesday, 26th May 2021, time 2 p.m. prompt. Chief host, Professor Abubakar Osleiman, Director General NILS, announcer.
Dear customer, link your Airtel number to your national identification number today. Here are easy ways you can do it. Dial *121*1# on your Airtel line and follow the prompts on the screen. Type in your 11-digit government-approved NIN number. You will receive a confirmation message to confirm your entry. You can also visit www.airtel.com.ng/NIN to link your phone number to your NIN. If you do not know your NIN, simply dial *346# to get it. No stress, no wahala.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Retired ACG of the Board of Customs in Nigeria, Bashir Abubakar, an indigene of Zaria local government area in Kaduna State, was until his retirement transparent, a hard-working, honest and dedicated officer with a vast experience in the services. While in service, he acquired wide knowledge in port operations. This gallant officer is also a recipient of the ICPC OSGF Integrity Award by President Muhammadu Buhari GCFR in the year 2019. His Royal Highness the Emir of Zazzau, Ambassador Ahmad Nuhu Bamali, to ban him as the Verdun Kudung Zazzau. Based on these numerous achievements, we thereby wish him greater positions in future and congratulate him and his entire family. Announcer Ishaya David.
Do you want to know more about the massive investment opportunities in Nigeria's infrastructure space? Then you must be part of the Bureau of Public Enterprises one-day webinar with a theme, Financing Public-Private Partnership to Boost Infrastructure Delivery in Nigeria. Date, Thursday, May 27, 2021. Time, 11 a.m. This event will be chaired by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, who is also the Vice Chairman, National Council on Privatization, Dr. Mrs. Zainab Ahmed. Guest speakers are Dr. David Ladipo, Partner, Amaya Capital, and Chinua Azubike, Managing Director, InfraCredit Limited. Interested participants should link up via Zoom ID 810-716-33616, passcode 607058. Mr. Alex Oko, Director General, BPE, host. This is an event you don't want to miss.
Samsung Galaxy, Samsung, easy. Oh, no. Give me my Samsung Galaxy, Samsung, A-series, oh, no, easy.
On behalf of myself, family, and the entire management and staff of Miriam Abacha American University, Kano State, I wish to join the teeming number of people from all walks of life in sharing the joy of nonagenarial 90th birthday anniversary with our elder statesman, public servant, industrialist, and philanthropist par excellence, Alhaji Aminu Dantata, Chairman, Dantata Group of Companies. Your unbeatable achievements in the fields of business and philanthropy are a testimony to your standing in Nigeria and on the African continent. We are truly thankful to Allah for your life. We beseech Almighty Allah to give you good health, eternal happiness, and preserve your life for more meritorious service to your fatherland and humanity. Professor Abubakar Adamu Gwazo, announcer.
A mother's instincts are hardly ever wrong. She knows when all is not well. And she trusts M&B Paracetamol, the red one, to save the day. With fast-acting and effective M&B Paracetamol tablet, the red one, and its pleasant-tasting pineapple flavor syrup, she sends aches and pains far away from her family. M&B Paracetamol. Pain can't stop you. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor.
Welcome back as we reflect more on Friday's ill-fated military plane crash. Flags are flying at half-mast in public buildings and government facilities in Awka, the Anambra State capital, in compliance with directives by the federal government to honor Nigeria's late Chief of Army Staff and 10 others in the military plane crash. Joy Ilebu reports.
Flying national flag at half-mast symbolizes mourning of the death or remembrance of a national figure who served his or her country with diligence, loyalty, and patriotism. The Nigerian's capital city came alive in compliance with the presidential directive of flying the national flag at half-mast in honor of the 11 military officers and men on board at the Kaduna ill-fated aircraft. The Nigerian Television Authority is one of the organizations that complied with the directive to honor the gallant Nigerian military personnel who lost their lives in the line of duty. Meanwhile, the flags at the nation's city gate and some establishments are yet to carry out the presidential directive. A cross-section of Nigerians commended the presidential order, saying a modest way of honoring patriotic leaders and citizens.
The catastrophe that has fallen the Nigerian nation for us to have lost the Chief of Army Staff and these seasoned senior military officers, you know there is nothing you can do other than to pray for them and do everything possible to respect their memory. And part of doing that is lowering the flag at half-mast.
The directive remains effective till Wednesday, the 26th of May, 2021. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
Of course, that was Thomas Ogbetere's report and not that of Joy Ilebu. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed a strong resolve to address the conflicts of farmers and herders in a sustained and lasting manner that should lead to the emergence of permanent solution to the frequent clashes. Abdurrahman Usman Jubrila has details of the measures.
A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity says the President approved a number of specific measures to bring a permanent end to the frequent skirmishes as recommended by Alhaji Sabona Nono, the Minister of Agriculture, in a report he submitted. It said the President signed the document in April well before the actions of the Southern Governors Forum, which attempt to place a ban on open grazing and other acts of politicking intended to demonstrate their power. The statement notes that there was no solution offered from the resolutions to the herder-farmer clashes that have been on for generations, while acknowledging that citizens of all states of Nigeria have a right to expect their elected leaders and representatives to find answers to challenges of governance and rights and not to wash their hands of hard choices. The statement said it is equally true that their announcement is of questionable legality, given the constitutional right of all Nigerians to enjoy the same rights and freedoms within every state and FCT, regardless of the state of their birth or residence. Mr. President is said has been worried about these problems more than any other citizen, and in consultation with farmers and herders alike, commissioned and approved an action plan of rehabilitating grazing reserves in the states, starting with those that are truly committed to the solution, with veterinary clinics, water points for animals and facilities for herders and their families, including schooling through these rehabilitated reserves, the federal government is making far-reaching and practical changes, allowing for different communities to coexist side by side, supporting farmers to till their fields, herders to rear their livestock, and Nigerians everywhere to be safe. Despite the strain of COVID-19 pandemic on public finances for both federal and states, given the pressing urgency of addressing the perennial challenges, the federal funding for the project, which has been delayed, is now being partly unlocked, and that actual work for the modern reserve system is slated to take off in June. In Abuja, Abraman Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
To health issues now, the federal government has declared 90 travelers who recently visited or arrived from India, Turkey or Brazil as potential health hazards to the sex society for violating Nigeria's COVID-19 travel protocols and evading the mandatory 7-day quarantine for persons arriving from restricted countries. The Presidential Steering Committee, PSC, on COVID-19, in a statement signed by its chairman and secretary to the government of the Federation, Boaz Mustafa, listed the violators as persons of interest who pose considerable danger to public health. They comprise 63 Nigerians, 26 Indians, and 1 Danish citizen who arrived in Nigeria through the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, and Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, between May 8 and 15, 2021, with Ethiopian Airline and Qatar Airways flight. The PSA says the violators must, within 48 hours of this notice, transport themselves safely to the nearest state public health departments for immediate evaluation, and also call on the Port Health Services, Federal Ministry of Health, for further directions. While urging Nigerians to beware of the affected persons, the PSA says further sanctions, including a travel ban on their passports for 1 year, cancellation of visas or permits of defaulting foreigners, as well as prosecution, will be carried out. And from the National Assembly, the House has opened an investigation to assess the status of all recovered loot, movable and immovable assets of government. National Assembly correspondent reports that the investigation will cover 2002 to 2020.
Addressing invited stakeholders to the investigative hearing, House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila says ensuring transparency in the management of recovered assets and the commitment to explore all avenues to generate income for government to meet its obligations are some of the reasons for this inquiry.
The war against corruption will not likely succeed if the Nigerian people do not have confidence that the recovered assets cannot be properly accounted for by those who have the responsibility to so do.
Chairman of the ADA Committee, Representative Adejoru Adeogun, enumerated areas of mandates which include to ascertain the value of financial and other assets recovered or seized, determine the level of management, withdrawal and allocation of repatriated funds and assets, which was why invitations for submissions were sent to the Ministries of Justice and Finance, Central Bank of Nigeria, and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, among others.
We believe that the outcome of this investigation will denominate the looted asset recovery process. We further believe that whatever recommendation we make to the House of Representatives at the end of the exercise will help in fashioning down new legislation.
Meanwhile, the House Committee on Customs at a one-day public hearing on the issue of scanners at the various entry points in Nigeria expressed dismay that the cargo scanners acquired in 2006 at the cost of $120 million are no longer functioning, compelling a return to physical inspection.
Our purpose here today is to ascertain what happened to those machines and to determine why, despite the massive investment in the sector, we did not achieve the modernization objectives.
This has nothing to do with our inability to purchase scanners. Yes, we can buy, but everything to do with poor maintenance culture, lack of accountability, and very sadly, deliberate economic sabotage.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigeria Customs Service and the Ministry of Finance made submissions before the committee. There are increasing concerns on the illegal importation of contrabands, especially arms and ammunition, into the country across the major entry points, thereby exacerbating security challenges. The House believes use of scanners will address some of these concerns. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali,
Let's reflect a little more on insecurity as 3 offices of INEC came under attack in Anambra, Imo and Enugu State on the night of Sunday, 23rd May 2021. In Anambra, the state INEC headquarters office Oka was set ablaze. A statement by INEC Commissioner for Information, Festus Okoye, describes the attack on the INEC facilities as a major blow to the Commission's preparations for the November 6, 2021 governorship election, as 2 stores housing electoral materials were burnt down. In Imo State, the INEC office in Ahazum, Bise local government area was also attacked on Sunday evening in an obvious attempt to set the building ablaze. The statement added that in Enugu, the Iweze South local government office was similarly attacked. The store was completely burnt down before the Enugu State Fire Service responded and prevented the inferno from raising other parts of the building. Now, an Igbo socio-cultural group known as Nzuko Umuna has expressed support for the Nigeria police to fish out and prosecute those guilty of recent criminal actions against law and order, particularly the unwarranted killings of security operatives and destruction of property in the southeast. The group urged the federal government and its agencies to dialogue with the leadership of the people of the southeast to restore peace in the region. Emmanuel Ayemiro reports.
Insecurity has remained a serious concern across the nation, with each geopolitical zone battling to defeat the menace and restore peace. In recent times, the Southeast has witnessed attacks on security personnel and other public institutions. Nzuko Umuna's legal secretary, Dr. Sam Amadi, who spoke on behalf of the group, said the issue of unknown gunmen phenomenon must be properly investigated to bring an end to the ugly situation.
We have to defeat insecurity in Southeast and other regions of Nigeria, but we must protect the right of life and dignity of citizens in the Southeast and other regions of Nigeria. With justice, with good faith to all, and malice to none, and with competent leadership, we can still build a prosperous, democratic, and just Nigerian state.
The group believes in the unity of Nigeria and the position of the South-South governors in bringing lasting solution to the crisis. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu says it has come to his knowledge that some group of persons who held a rally under the cover of what they termed secessionist agitations in Akure on Saturday, May 22, 2021, erroneously claimed to have had his support for the rally. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Richard Olatunde, says Governor Akeredolu acknowledges the right of individuals and groups to hold peaceful rallies, and it must not be misconstrued to mean support for secessionist agenda and or balkanization of the nation. The statement states unequivocally that the governor's opinion on the Akure rally or any other of his like is only to the effect that he is not opposed to any civil protest which is not in breach of the extant laws of the nation. He said Governor Akeredolu neither believes nor supports the quest for the Yoruba nation outside of Nigeria in the manner canvassed and stands by a virile, united and indivisible Nigeria as demanded by the Southern Governors Forum. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umaru Farouk, has reiterated her commitment to ensuring a holistic approach to disaster response and prevention for the overall benefit of Nigerians. The minister stated this at the presentation of 2020 annual report by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and the induction of 9 units of disaster risk reduction vehicles and 4 units of water purifier machines vehicles donated by the Japanese government. Eliasu Ali Yakubu reports.
Disaster management across the globe has been an Herculean task which most times comes without prior notice, thereby making life more difficult for the people. Although experts across the globe have been engaging in the evolution of many techniques to prevent or reduce the consequences of the disaster whenever it occurs. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, in Nigeria has been on top of its game in mitigating, rescuing and evacuating disaster victims, as well as providing relief materials to the affected persons. This 2020 annual report, as presented by the National Emergency Management Agency, captured all the interventions of the agency, which the Humanitarian Affairs Minister said is highly commendable. She challenged NEMA and other stakeholders to prioritize focus on disaster risk reduction, which, according to the minister, has gone a long way in reducing the effect of disaster among Nigerians.
I want to admonish you to reflect on the content of the report and forge ahead to exceed the successes you have recorded, especially as we all align our duties to support the policy drive of President Muhammad Buhari in alleviating the plight of our vulnerable citizens and ultimately reduce poverty to the barest minimum, especially at the grassroots level.
Director General National Emergency Management Agency NEMA, a Vice Marshal Muhammadu Muhammad, expressed confidence that disaster management in Nigeria will continue to enjoy absolute commitment to better the lots of Nigerians.
NEMA delivers humanitarian support for 148 incidents, in addition to the monthly distribution of relief materials to internally displaced persons in the Northeast.
As contained in this report, it is my expectation for the agency to work towards further improvement on achievement of last year.
There is one obvious fact, which is that Japan, Nigeria has many things in common, one of which is the co-occurrence of the natural disaster.
The occasion was used to commission the disaster management vehicles donated by the Japanese government. In Abuja, Ilyasu Aliakubu, NTA News.
NDLEA dams drug load in Lagos. Let's join Adeola for this and more.
Thank you, Kenny. A drug baron has provided necessary information as regards the trafficking of cocaine worth over 8 billion naira and for an attempt to bribe officials of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Murtala Mohammed International Airport Command, with a sum of $24,500 to compromise investigation. Commander Ahmadu Garba said the suspect ran out of luck following the proactive response of officers of the airport's command. Abolade Salami reports.
The consignment of hard drugs, consisting of 36 blocks, weighing over 27 kilograms of cocaine, allegedly arrived at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, from Gru, Brazil, via Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, on the Ethiopia Airline flight. The suspect behind the Lagos consignment is Jeffo Felix Inweriaku, who is based in Brazil, and his alleged gang specialized in planting drugs in the luggage of innocent air travelers. One of the tagged luggage was disclaimed and impounded by operatives of the agency. In the course of investigations, it was discovered that illicit substances were stocked in the luggage, and the suspects attempted to bribe his way out with a sum of $24,500 paid in 3 tranches.
Using more proactive measures to make sure that we target incoming passengers and know who we should actually waste time on. So now we have better time to do control because the number of passengers are less than the full capacity of the airport. It gives us more time. It's an intelligence-led posture now that we've taken is really helping us to make sure that we get what we plan to get.
The suspect is currently being interrogated on tactics applied during operations.
So just my friend called me that I should help him and do. It's not my business. I don't deal on it. I don't deal on it. But, I can see it's not a good something because anything drug is not good.
Because I don't know that Igbo will lead me into this place.
while the commitment and dexterity of officers involved in the arrest have been commended by the chairman of the agency. He challenged the personnel to intensify efforts in the war against drug trafficking. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
It is on record that most cases of fraud start from the process of procurement. But to change the trend, the Bureau of Public Procurement is incorporating more officers into the procurement cadre as a way of ensuring that public funds are not misplaced or misappropriated. At the commencement of a 2-week training in Lagos, the agency reiterates its reward plan for adherence to principle of integrity, transparency, and accountability. Michael Olaleye reports.
It is a call to duty for these 300 prospective procurement officers, as their diligent service is required to change the tide of procurement by injecting integrity into the practice. Director General, Bureau of Public Procurement, Maman Amodu, in his message to the training, described the conversion program as the starting points to getting it right and harmonizing specific government programs, putting into consideration the crucial role of procurement in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030.
If procurement officers can know what it takes and know how to have or achieve value for money in contracting processes, we would have been able to use scarce resources very well, and the savings will be deployed for more infrastructure development.
We have seen the gradual reduction in terms of how procurement is conducted. There's more openness.
To be aware of the potholes.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, lauded the consistency of the 13-year-old procurement program, which is key in the quest to rid the country of corruption.
Blocking the leakages is the first thing, and automatically what has been realized, which will have been stolen fraudulently, will have been channeled for other public benefits.
The Bureau, through the development of e-government procurement system and establishment of 3 additional centers of excellence in sustainable procurement, is aggressively implanting the culture of transparency and accountability in the procurement process in Nigeria. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NT News.
You're still watching the news on the network service of the NTA. There will be more reports when we return. To stay with us.
The brightest stars, they burn with more passion. See that? Shooting star. Impressive, but no legs. Now that star is called Sirius. When I was a kid, I was inspired by that star. Like Sirius, I wanted to shine brighter. I wanted to stand out. That's a champion star, right? And it warms my heart to know that right now, that same star shines over a new generation of Nigerians. Passionate about their dreams. Shine, my people, shine. Speaking of champions, the word Sirius is green. It means to glow. Coincidence? No way. Glow? A halo.
Join over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
What's the difference between regular data and MTN data? I'll show you. With regular data, you get this. But with MTN data, you get moved right into the action like this. MTN data, you don't just get more, you experience more. Need loads of data to live your dream? Turn it up on MTN, the reliable data network.
Mommy is ready to receive me a bundle of joy. Mommy is making my home cleaner and safer. We are Dettol, Dettol Sure.
Illnesses can happen at home too. That's why Dettol and me together will make my baby's home safe and to protect from up to 100 illness-causing germs. That's why moms want to be Dettol. Dettol Sure.
We are Dettol, Dettol Sure.
Fun is 10. Smart is 10. Fast is 10. Elegance is 10. My experience is 10. Redmi Note 10 Pro. Challenge the boundaries. Get the Redmi Note 10 Pro, built with 108 megapixel camera, 120 Hz AMOLED display, and Qualcomm Snapdragon 732G, as well as 33 watts fast charge. The Redmi Note 10 Pro, powered by Xiaomi.
Like every mother, I'm worried about dangerous insects, especially mosquitoes, which spread diseases like malaria to my loved ones. This year, I'm not afraid. I'm using New Mortein Insta-Kill. New Mortein Insta-Kill's improved formulation knocks down mosquitoes 2 times faster. Not even a single mosquito is spared because even one mosquito bite can cause malaria. Mortein Insta knocks down mosquitoes 2 times faster.
Airtel is saying thank you to all loyal customers in the Airtel Thanks Cash Token Rewards. Each subscriber stands a chance to win up to 100 million naira every week. To opt in, dial *479# and follow the prompts. To qualify, simply recharge your Airtel number. Each cash token gets you an 8 naira instant cash back, plus a chance to win up to 100 million naira weekly in the National Cash Token Draw, showing every Saturday by 9:30 p.m. on AIT and 8 p.m. on Pop Central DSTV channel 189. All transactions done on *479# are rewarded with more cash tokens, and you can also check your cash token balance via the same code. Only loyal customers of the smartphone network are entitled to the Airtel Cash Token Reward. For more information, simply dial *479# or visit www.airtelthanks.ng. Terms and conditions apply.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
John, you can use our toilet now.
Ew! My mommy said I should always use a toilet that is cleaned with Hypo toilet cleaner. James will bite my bone.
John, what's the problem? Use Hypo Toilet Cleaner. Introducing the new and affordable Hypo Toilet Cleaner. Kills germs and deodorizes your toilet.
At the first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust to provide effective relief and is gentle on the stomach. Try Panadol Caplets for relief from headaches, body aches, and fever. With Panadol's Optizorb formula, the tablet gently breaks down in the stomach, quickly absorbs, and starts providing pain relief in 15 minutes. For fast and effective pain relief that you can trust, try Panadol Caplets. This has been Medifact for Panadol.
Help make nights rest-filled by keeping baby's bum dry all night with Huggies Dry Comfort. With our stretchy waistband and super absorbent core, Huggies Dry Comfort provides all-night dryness and comfort to make nighttime rest-filled for baby and you. Huggies, for all-night dryness and comfort.
You can get more news and updates on www.nta.ng or follow us on our Twitter handle at NTA News Now. You can also like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/NTA Network News, and also stay connected and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Also remember to watch our news live streaming at www.nta.ng/live.
Thank you for staying with us. Federal government expresses urgency for improved policy in solid mineral sector as Nigeria Exchange Group begins the week on the red. Let's join Musa Abubakar for details on business news.
Thank you, Kenneth. The federal government has sought the need and expresses the urgency to improve procedures, documentation and regulations in the Nigerian solid mineral sector. This is a deliberate policy measure aimed at developing mining potentials and minimizing dependency on oil. The Stakeholders Consultative Forum on the review of the draft mineral export guidelines in Abuja, Minister of Finance, Budget and National Plan Zainab Ahmed said that the policy has become more urgent in view of the present global economic challenges occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as volatility of global oil prices, which is the country's main foreign exchange earner. Minister of Mines and Steel Development Olamilekan Adigbite said that the implementation of the guidelines will bring sanity to solid mineral extractive industry and further inform direct investors' decision. The proposed document is expected to reduce the usual time for export cycle from an uncertain current time frame to 26 working days and processing of exit point documentation and shipment to 5 and 3 days. Now, equities market closed Monday's trading to begin the week on a negative note. The all-share index shed 0.10% to close 38,287.58 points, and market capitalization dropped to 19.96 trillion naira. 141.1 million shares valued at 1.09 billion naira were traded in 3,566 deals. UACN Property Development Company PLC, FBN Holdings and Chams PLC are the most traded stocks with a combined value of 96.1 million naira at the end of the day's transaction. Now the news continues after the break.
Talking about your
Up next is sports updates. Bade Adeleye is our guide.
Many thanks, Kenneth. We begin with football as Akwa United returned to the summit of the Nigeria Professional Football League on Monday, despite being forced to a goalless draw by visiting Enugu Rangers. United are now with 41 points, same as second-placed Kano Pillars, but they have a superior goal difference. The next set of matches will be played on Wednesday, 26th May. From the pitch to the sand now, Team Kaduna are still relishing their victory at the 2021 President Beach Volleyball Championship, which held at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium, Kaduna. They beat defending champions Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps 2-1 in the tension field final. Nigeria Immigration Service finished third, with Nigeria Customs trouncing Nassau Queens 2-0 in the women's final to emerge 2021 champions, while their Team B settled for third.
I think it was a very excellent thing, and this clearly shows that our objective of the government in developing sport is yielding results.
It's passion, nothing more than that. Whether I'm the president or caretaker committee chairman, that's immaterial to me, because it's passion, and I'll continue to show my passion for volleyball, not only volleyball, for other sports in Nigeria.
And finally, the 2021 General Assembly of the Association of National Olympic Committees of Africa began in Cairo on Monday with the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dari, leading the Nigerian delegation. On the sidelines of the Anoka GA, Dari had a high-level bilateral meeting with his Egyptian counterpart, Professor Ashraf Sobi, with the two African nations agreeing to go into partnership and explore areas of mutual benefit for the growth of the youth and sports industries of both countries. And that's sports. It's back to Kenneth.
Thank you very much, Bade. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed condolence over the death of Alhaji Abdullahi Dan Buram Jada, who passed away in his 90s, a former Northern Regional Minister of Animal Health and Northern Cameroon Affairs. The president described the deceased as dedicated and disciplined public servant who had the interests of the people at heart, adding that he discharged his duties selflessly and with the fear of God, with the testimony of varied character and reputation. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has condoled with government and people of Adamawa State and family of Alhaji Abdullahi Dan Buram Jada over his death. Boss Mustafari, in a statement, expressed sadness over the death of the man as a father, mentor, accomplished and altruistic leader who radiated humility and exuded goodwill. And that's, of course, NTA Network News tonight. But do not forget to join us in fighting the scourge of rape and rapists. My name is Kenan Ima Abodiken. Thank you for watching and good night.